Not since Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart have there been two characters on screen with less chemistry. The Getaway. The Getaway stars Ethan Hawke and Selena Gomez, and as I said up top, they have zero chemistry. I really don't know why these two are in this movie together. You think about a co-star with Ethan Hawke, you don't think Selena Gomez. Ethan Hawke plays a down-on-his-luck retired race car driver. At least I think he was a race car driver. They barely hinted at that in the movie. Who comes home to find that his wife has been kidnapped and a phone is ringing. He picks up the phone and there's this voice on the other end saying, if you ever want to see your wife again, you're going to do these tasks. And if you complete them in this time period, you will see your wife alive again. So he finds a car that's been prepared for him. He steals the car. He goes on with his night doing all these different bad, break the law type things, causing destruction, running through stuff, running through parks and crowded streets, and things are flying everywhere, and he's causing all kinds of mayhem and destruction, and police are chasing him. Cut to the next task, he's causing more destruction, things are flying, police are chasing him. Cut to the next task, he's causing destruction and mayhem, and things are flying, and police are chasing him. After the third time, you started thinking, this movie is getting really, really repetitive. And then, for some odd reason, they throw in Selena Gomez. She just there as a sassy little tech-savvy teenager. It is kind of explained why her character is there, but she doesn't need to be there, except to show this old man what all this tech is. I don't know how many times in this movie Ethan Hawke looked over at something she was doing and said, "What are you doing?" And her reaction was, "Oh, I'm trying to hack into these cameras." Okay, so the whole movie takes place in a car. Pretty much 95% of the movie takes place in this car. There's a scene in this movie, and I am not kidding. You know how in some car racing video games you can change the view, change the camera view, like one camera view is kind of outside of the car and the car's down this way and it's going like this, and that's kind of the best view. And then you can change views where you're closer to the car and you can't really see what you're doing, so nobody ever uses that view. And then the next camera view, you're like on the bumper of the car and you're driving around that way. There's about a minute and a half where it is that camera view. The camera is on the bumper following this other car. There's no music, there's no action, nothing. It's just a chase, a minute and a half of the camera on the bumper following this car. And then let's take a second to talk about the bad guy. Alright, as soon as you see the bad guy, I mean, granted, you don't see his whole face, you see about this much of him, or this much of him. You see, okay, that's Jon Voight. It's Jon Voight. There's no mystery there, because you know his voice. Even though he's doing kind of a Russian accent, you know Jon Voight's voice, and you know what he looks like. So when they finally get to the reveal of the big bad guy, right, this guy shows up, you're like, that's not the bad guy, because the bad guy's Jon Voight, and that is not Jon Voight. Then you see this other bad guy that's supposed to be the big bad guy, and you're going, that's not Jon Voight, because I know Jon Voight, and that is not Jon Voight. And so there's no really surprise or mystery there, because you know who the villain is the whole time. So when they're trying to say, oh, this might be the villain, or this might be the villain, you're just like, no, it's not. You really don't care about these characters. You don't care that Ethan Hawke's character is trying to go get his wife. You don't care about Selena Gomez's character. You don't care because you don't have an emotional connection with them. You know, we don't know what kind of relationship Ethan Hawke had with his wife, because as soon as the movie opens, she's already been kidnapped. So you don't have that time to really get to know this couple and really see how this couple is and the way they interact with each other. You don't know. And you really don't know that much about Selena Gomez's character. You know, she's kind of a spoiled, rich teen with daddy issues. And you don't really know the motive for the bad guy. I will say this, when the motive is revealed, why Jon Voight is doing these things, you're like, oh, really? So I would say you could probably skip this one, because it's just very uninteresting and very unexciting and very unentertaining. It's a very un-movie. I'm coining that phrase right now. So there you go. There's my review of Getaway. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Comment below. Also, if you want to see more of my reviews, follow me on Facebook or find me on Twitter. Click the links below.